Hello fellow academics and welcome back for some unwinding playing Cities Skylines 2. Last time we have been trying to balance out our budget and we are making more than we did before, which is great, in addition to growing our population by another 2,000 people. So I think the way to go in order to keep balancing out our budget is to first of all deal with our demand. Putting in these medium density housings over here definitely helped quite a bit. So for now I'm going to remove these paths that we had put in last time to make sure our zoning is facing the right direction. And we're going to add the last few houses in this zone that will help us grow this a little bit faster. Right, I think our town is slowly getting to a place where we really want it to be, although I have to say these houses in the middle are getting more and more expensive, or at least should get more and more expensive. One thing that we haven't really done so far is actually work with our signature buildings. So let's have a quick look what we do have. We do have a French building, a French corner building, which might not quite make sense. We do have this executive mansion, which could be from a local CEO. It does have well-being within 500 meters. And I think this over here could actually be quite a nice place for this mansion. I could see a little driveway coming out of this that connects up to this mansion, and we can keep the surrounding areas completely empty, which will help us to do a bit more gardening or like landscaping around it. So I will actually do this. I'm going to place this over here, and it does look very nice. I could actually see this going over or being over here quite well. And similar to before, we will put in a alleyway that will serve as a almost private driveway for the mansion. We're also going to maybe we'll turn this into a little square about, which I think also looks quite nice. And let's see if we can't place a tree in the middle here. I hope we can. I hope there's enough space for it. Birch tree, pine tree. No, I want something a bit more, I want to say, impressive. So a chestnut tree. I'm going to make this a large size. Now the road is interfering on both sides. I do wonder, maybe we should actually just remove this and connect the alleyway back into here. We will remove some of the road crossings over here. And actually, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna turn this into a one-way street. Wow, that will not work. I wish there was a smaller one-way street. Okay, since there isn't, let's see if we can now put in our chestnut tree. And yes, we can. Let's put it on... Nope, we'll take away the seedlings and the elderly and just put a little chestnut tree zone in the middle here. So I think overall this looks quite nice as a private driveway. Like I said before, we do want to remove some of these crossings. We might leave it over here. You know what? Now I'm going to remove this as well. And we're going to add a crossing on this side here. Kind of creating this little intersection on this side. That does remind me as well, we should probably put in an additional crossing on this side, which we cannot do until we actually put a street in here. So let's quickly go ahead and put a alleyway in this one unit gap that we have, just so we can make sure we have an easy crossway from the middle of this block to both of our schools. Right, back to our mansion. So household wealth is wretched, not great, but let's ignore this for now, I want to say, and see what else we can do in terms of sprucing up the area. We could, in theory, put in small parks. They're all a bit too big. There could be a dog dog park in here, I don't think that would be looked on too nicely. So instead, we're honestly just going to use no surfaces. I don't think it needs it, but we can use some other like scenic parts of this. Don't need the intersection here or like the road crossing over here. I'm going to add a little path around here, and we probably should connect this up here as well, just to make it a little bit easier for our CEO to walk towards the cemetery. And I guess this is not really a path. It does look like one, but it won't let me fully connect this up. What if we turn this off? See if we can't. Nope. Doesn't like it. Doesn't like it either. Doesn't like it. Maybe there's no way of connecting this fully up. Alright, so instead we're going to leave it at that. Add a little bit of decoration around it. And I am thinking, well, none of these. Although these could look quite nice just over here. Considering this is our mansion, I could see them having a bit more decoration to separate out their entranceway. And without a line tool, they will be a little bit awkwardly spaced because I'm not that good at placing them. But I'm assuming the longer I play this, the better I will become at this. It looks a little bit horrendous. But for now, we're gonna assume that's just the way the CEO wants, and he's just a little bit eccentric. Alright, anyways, let's go back into the tree area. We will actually put some wildflower bushes, I want to say, in the entrance part here, on both sides. Just to make it again seem a little bit more like a thing for them. The CEO might not like this part very much, where the pedestrians walk over here, but I could see that absolutely happening and people just not caring. Right, anyways, let's put in some more. Whoa, that's way too big. Some more trees around here, maybe no saplings. Now this all overlaps, but overall that is fine. Just have some spruce trees. Again, just to spruce up that area, haha, unintended. Which I think will make this entire area look much more like something a CEO of a local company might be living at. Now this is a little bit into the middle of nowhere, but let's see what we can do with this. We do have some of these park features, and there's a gazebo. Well, we just want to place one. Not an entire brush. Overlapping items because of that tree in the back. Can we fit it into anywhere around here? I feel like it should kind of be able to fit here. It's overlapping with the road, and as soon as it's not overlapping with the road, it is overlapping with these trees in the back. So for now, let's actually remove one of those trees and go back into the gazebo. Clicked away from it. Maybe a small gazebo will actually be... maybe this gazebo. Put the entrance over here. And there we go. Now we have a gazebo in here. Let's go back to the trees and see if we can put in a few more of them that are not overlapping with stuff. We actually now reached the next milestone. We're Boomtown, got $150,000, 6 development points and 8 expansion permits. We will be using some of this, I think, in the next couple episodes. For now, I'm going to click this away. I'm going to check out the progression panel in a little bit, because I do want to focus on that gazebo area, although this type of tree just looks like it's way too tall or way too big. So instead, actually let's just make it a little area over here. Let's take a different bush and try to just place these around here to get some additional privacy for our CEO. And I think that actually looks quite nice. Even when you walk out of the cemetery and you see this, that looks great. There's a little wall back here, but it still reminds you that there's the CEO living in this corner. And overall, I think we've done an okay job with this area. Right, again, not quite what I wanted to focus on in this round. We want to expand our income. So with actually taking our demand into account, there's one thing we can do, and I'm not actually going to place the low density demand, because I think in the next episode we're going to expand into a smaller separate village and then have them grow into each other as things progress. So for now, let's focus on the commercial demand. And one thing that I really wanted to do, and this might seem a little bit counterintuitive, I want to remove this commercial area over here and turn it into a pedestrian zone. As we have built a lot of these German housings or housing options, the pedestrian zone makes, in my opinion, a lot of sense, as most German cities are actually filled with them. So let's put our pedestrian road just right down the middle. I guess it wouldn't be down the middle, that's 3 on one side and 4 on the other. Let's actually keep it like that, meaning we're going to put a pedestrian zone just over here. And we do need some connections through here, but I'm not going to make all those connections. So for now, let's place a connection over here and a connection over here. And just as I know we're going to expand, we will also put in a 2-lane truss bridge. Yeah. Anyways, we're going to put in a pedestrian connection over to the other side. I think that will ultimately look very nice. So I forgot where pedestrian bridges are, probably part of this. Could do it an arc bridge. You know what, why not? So let's see. We are currently, well, that's way too high. Let's go a little bit deeper. 7.5 sounds great to span this. Invalid shape, overlapping items. I don't think it would need anything higher than a 7.5. Does it really need a higher level than 7.5? Wow. That seems a little bit overkill. But I guess we will put this in. Let's make sure that it's as straight as we can make it. And as close with the pillars to the road as possible. And here we go. Now we have put this in, and obviously we need a connection from this side over to the other side, or down basically, as we want our pedestrians to be able to walk into or from one pedestrian zone into another as we are expanding this on the other side. Alright, so this is still pretty tall. They don't like this. Let's move this over here. I guess I need to. The slope is too steep. With this we could do it. I don't want to connect it up to this part. So let's actually stay a little bit higher up. Let's do it to there and then move down to 0. That should hopefully allow us to just connect into this part. Now this looks a little bit strange, I want to say, but overall it will do. And on the other side, for now, we're just going to put in the same style. Need to go back up to 10. Should probably turn on all the snapping tools again. And then we're going to lower this to 0.5, not 5, to 5. And then from there, go down another 0.2, 2.5. just to there, and then go down all the rest. And for now, we're just going to connect this in here. I don't want it to create a crossing, but we're going to put this in for now and immediately remove it, because I don't know where the people would actually go. Alright, so again, looks maybe a little bit funky, and hopefully in the future we can sort of improve this overall, but for now it will definitely do. And now we're going to put in the mixed usage, and this is where I would love to see another way to determine where the zoning, which road the zoning is actually facing. Let's put it like this, and it did not work. Nope, no, 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 no. Okay, so I could probably keep doing this, but ultimately it won't actually fix it. How about this? Will you be able to build it now? Nope, because the zoning is still on the other road. Now what I am going to try is put in a path, a walking path just down here. Let me pause this for now. What if I put the path down here, then remove the path? Will now the zoning be on the right side, I wonder? Nope, it will not. Right, so we are going to leave the path in. And I think in terms of building size, this makes a lot more sense anyways, to just have a 2 area deep zone on this side. We're going to make it 3 on this. I'm going to also turn this into a path, just to make sure it's facing the right way. Connecting this all the way up here, connecting this up there, and this here as well. And then we still need to put in the paths for now, over here and here. Right, again, not quite what I had in mind. Also need to put in paths here apparently. Because we're at it, let's do this. And just to make sure we have enough space to hopefully add another few buildings over here, we're going to do that as well. Now we're going to fill this up. I'm going to unpause. On this side, the buildings will be a little bit taller. I'm going to put these in here as well. I do wonder if we're putting in one here, if it will look ridiculous, but only one way to find out. So let's give this a try. And then otherwise fill all of these up as well. Right. Now, hopefully we can remove these paths. And I have realized that I might not have sort of probably kept additional space over here. And as they are filling in our mixed usage areas, we are slowly, or we will slowly be generating our little pedestrian zone. We do already have one person who is using it in the middle of the rain, in the middle of the night. But doesn't that actually look great? And there are already other people walking in the opposite direction, but with the mountains in the distance. They do look a little bit funny, I have to say. And I think it's snow. It is snow. Awesome. I don't think I had played a map that had snow in there, but I really like it. It does look a little bit strange, I want to say, in terms of like the color, but that's also, I think, in part because of the lighting right now. Actually, that doesn't look too bad. So as our pedestrians will be using this zone to get into their shops, they can see the mountains in the distance. And actually one of the wind turbines, which now makes me regret this a little bit, but at least everybody can be happy that we are producing environmentally friendly energy. Right, there's more commercial demand, and this will hopefully at some point slowly fill in. Let me actually see if I remove this, if they will expand in both directions a bit more. But for now, let's assume this is kind of done. One thing that we can do is actually put some more regular commercial on the other side. We do have the urban promenades. I don't think we're going to use this right now, but for our city's sake, we are going to expanded a little bit of commercial and actually much closer to our industrial zone. Because I don't think this will become part of the pedestrian area, where I'm probably going to cut it off just before, and with that we actually have a good amount of snowfall in Academiton. I'm a big fan of snow. I love the cold weather. Some people might understand, maybe not. We are actually losing now a good amount of money again, and I wonder why, and I know why, because we removed all of our commercial income from here, which is obviously not ideal. So with 150,000, what can we do? We could put down more of our wind turbines, just to create some additional money from our electricity export, and we will actually do this just over here. But first, like I said before, flash warning, I guess, we will put down a path for our wind turbines, just so, again, it makes a little bit more sense, as they will need some access for servicing and the like. I'm going to turn this in over here and then connect this up over here. That's not too bad, I want to say. And that will allow us to put more wind turbines relatively close to the highway, which is also, in a sense, where I would expect or could expect to see them. And more importantly, it's close to our landfill, in another area where the zone or the placing of a wind turbine, I think, would be realistic. Right, 2 more wind turbines should have given us a bit more income. This is actually varying a little bit. In addition, I think we will now upgrade all of these with the advanced rotary system. Just all of them. If we have the money, we can do 3 more. 2 more, actually, just 1 more. As we're a little bit under the required 15,000. Now we are still losing a good amount of money. I am hoping, as I'm kind of assuming the electricity production is actually at max right now. Interesting, I could deactivate that, not that I want to, but this did not quite help us in terms of our budget, or not as much, I want to say, as I was hoping for. So we are going to put some more of our commercial zoning into here, which I think will ultimately help us. And this, we could even turn this into a bigger shopping area, which actually I think would look quite nice. So let's do this, putting in a road. What is going on here? Putting in a road up there at a right angle and just connecting it to this one, but just to make sure, I am going to flatten out the area over here. And smooth this out a little bit, just to not have it look too ridiculous. And that should allow us to put this connection in from here to there, and then here, and ultimately give us more space for commercial zoning. We will also actually, since we have this 1 unit gap here in terms of the zoning, just put in an alleyway, which hopefully allows us to remove this without a problem. And yeah, I guess this is without a problem. And then we're going to add additional commercial sections in here. Unfortunately, I've lost this building. Let's remove it and let it fill itself back in. But I think overall that will do just fine. Now these could be commercial areas that sell the stuff from our industrial area. And we are back in the positive, although only slightly. Citizens are leveling up, which I think is great. So let's try to... What is this problem? It is actually full. So Before we end this episode, I am going to expand our landfill, just connecting it basically up to fill all of this over here. But that does tell us, yeah, that actually looks pretty full. And I never noticed that there are like little piles of additional dirt on top of the ground surface that Cities Skylines II provides. Now, considering the height of this already looks ridiculously full anyways, but it will also tells us that in the next episode, we probably want to look into an incineration plant, which, while not necessarily should we stay environmentally friendly or with a recycling center? It could be nice, to be honest. I can't actually place it. They always just show me this building. A recycling center could make more sense, trying to get this to a non-polluting quantity. We'll see. I will be playing this a little bit more, and considering Christmas time is time of family, I will be pre-recording the next episode. But do leave me a comment below what you think we should be doing in terms of placement. Should it be an incineration plant to help our economy with the export of additional electricity, or should it be a recycling plant? Keep in mind, we're not afraid of removing buildings and upgrading them as things go along. So even if we built an incineration plant, I'm more than happy to tear it down in the long run, as our city might want to go green. So I'm very much looking forward to the future developments. But for now, we have expanded our energy production. We're back in the green. And we've put some nice little recreational areas in here, especially with our CEO building, as well as created the cornerstone of our first pedestrian zone, which I think is a very German thing to do for our city center. Right, with this view, and I'm going to just show it like this because it looks better, it looks more filled in, don't you think? I will leave you at that. Thank you everyone for joining. Hit the like and subscribe button, it helps out a ton, and I hope to see you next time. Okay, bye bye.